Okay guys, now we're going to go over the A minor pentatonic scale, and this is a 5-note scale, hence penta, that's your 5, and tonic, tones, so you have a 5-tone scale. And here we're going to show you the key of A minor, but what I want you also to note when you're learning this is a movable scale pattern. So if you learn it in the key of A, and you learn where the root notes are in this particular scale pattern, then you can move this scale pattern to any other position on the neck and you'll be able to play in that key. And that'll make more sense when I demonstrate it here in a few moments. So first let's talk about the scale itself. It's a 5-note scale. It has the notes A, C, D, E, and G in it. So it comes out of the A minor scale, which would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So it's that A minor scale minus the B and minus the F. Those two notes are taken out. And the importance of this particular scale and this particular pattern is when it comes to lead playing, it is an easy way to begin playing lead for one thing, and then it's widely used by a lot of players in all types of genres of music, whether it be blues, R&B, pop music, hard rock, rock, metal, jazz. This particular scale pops up in all of those. So it's really good to get to know this thing. Okay, so in the key of A minor, we're going to be working in this area right here, which would be the 5th to the 8th fret, okay? And what's helpful is to be able to visualize, and I had a handout for class that you'll just have to get if you weren't here. You'll get it this coming Thursday. But basically, what it's showing you is you're going from this note to this note to this note to this note. So you go back and forth between a note on the 5th fret and a note on either the 7th or the 8th fret. And the best way to kind of learn this is by thinking of the fingerings. So you start with your first finger, which will cover all the notes on the 5th fret, and then over here your pinky is going to cover the notes on the 8th fret, and your ring finger will cover the notes on the 7th fret. So we are adhering to position playing rules here. So position playing is where you're in a 4-fret area and each finger is responsible for a specific fret in that area. So 5th fret, first finger, 6th fret, second finger, 7th fret, third finger, and 8th fret, pinky. Now this particular scale we're not going to use our second finger, but that's the idea of position playing. And the point of position playing is if you learn these scale patterns by their fingerings, it's a lot easier to move them to a different spot on the guitar neck. So enough of me yakking, let's get on with what this looks like in terms of real playing. So we're going to go from the 5th fret to the 8th fret, 5th fret to the 7th fret, 5th fret to the 7th fret, 5th fret to the 7th fret, 5th fret to the 8th fret, 5th fret to the 8th fret. Okay? So if you notice, there's 2 notes per string, which is another reason why it's such a useful scale pattern in terms of lead playing. And then if you think in terms of your fingers, you're going from your first finger to your pinky, and then ring, 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 pinky, pinky. Okay? Alright, so go ahead and practice that a few times. And what I want you to also notice in this particular scale pattern, I want you to learn and know, is where the root note is located. In this particular case, the root note is A, but what I want you to know is in the pattern where the root note is located. So in A, or in the pattern rather, it's where your first finger is on the 6th string, and then where your ring finger is on the 4th string, and then where your first finger is on the first string. Because remember, whatever notes you have on the sixth string, you're going to have on the first string, okay? So you have an A here, an A here, and an A here. Knowing where those root notes is really helpful in the context of lead playing, because if you find yourself in trouble, if you're noodling around, and you kind of get lost, you can always bring it back home. So I'm ending on A notes in those particular situations. Okay, so that's your A minor pentatonic. Now let me just show you the value of this in terms of a movable situation, why it's a movable scale pattern, okay? So if we move that, move my guitar a little bit, if we move that up here to the 3rd fret, and here we're going to go fret numbers 3, 6, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 6. But hopefully you can see I'm still going pinky, ring, 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 pinky, pinky. So here we are, same pattern in terms of how our finger moves. Now we're in the 3rd position because our first finger's on the 3rd fret. And we're going to play, since this note here is G, that means we're playing G minor. Okay, so yeah, Smoke on the Water is a great G minor riff, and it's a great song to jam over if you want to just do some G minor. My guitar's going a little out of tune on us, so hopefully that doesn't bother you guys too much. Anyways, I'm rambling. So that is your minor pentatonic scale pattern. I've shown it to you in the key of A, where you would have your first finger on the 5th fret, and that's what we're going to use in the song Company Blues. And I've also shown it to you in the key of G, G minor, where your first finger would be on the 3rd fret. So the best advice I can give you is just practice this thing, learn it forwards and backwards. Get used to where you change directions. I call this the double back, where you're kind of going one direction and you flip around. But just little things like that, you can do so much with this scale. So if you practice this scale and get to where you can play it without thinking, you can come up with all sorts of cool stuff. Alright, the next video we're going to go ahead and look at the strum pattern for Company Blues, and then I'll play it for you, and then we'll be done.